Hello everybody, how are you? Hope you are all doing well, and welcome back to a slightly different looking Franchise Hockey Manager 5 with your Cardiff Devils. I have been looking at your comments. It's been 5 days now since the first episode was posted. I've been looking at your comments, one of which came from Max, who said, is there a mod pack to get the actual logos into the game? No, there isn't, but I did manage to do it myself by going into all of the folders. So you'll see we have the actual Devils logo now. If we go to the Elite League, you'll see we have the Elite League logo as well, and all of the logos for the teams are also here. The only one that hasn't quite worked is Fife, because it's quite an elongated logo, so it's kind of squashed a bit for the squares. But you can see here that I do have the logos of the teams and the Elite League logo in the game, and that will be remaining for the rest of this series. I've also been looking at your comments about who you want me to buy, but with that I have come under a little bit of a problem. The problem being is one of the players you guys wanted me to try and get was Alex Guptill. So if we just go and try and find Alex Guptill, there he is, and we offer him a contract, it says this player cannot be signed because he is currently under contract in the EIHL, and the EIHL honours EIHL contracts. Now this happened for every player that I tried to get, and I was a bit stuck, didn't really know what to do, so I actually messaged the developers of the game from Out of the Park Developments, and I have 2 points to make. First is a commendation to them. Their customer service is excellent. I had a detailed response within a couple of hours, and second point is that they really do know what they're doing. Even though the Elite League is quite a minority league, I don't think anybody can really argue with that on the basis that they've been putting a lot of work into the NHL. They've still been focusing on the Elite League quite a bit. So I got a reply from them, quite a lengthy reply, after a couple of hours, which I'll put on screen now. I'm not going to read it all. If you want to read it all, feel free to pause it. But basically you can sign directly from lower leagues like the NIHL and the Scottish League, and he is looking to expand the list of leagues that the EIHL can just buy directly from. As I pointed out to him in my original point, sometimes players do move between contracted sides, but usually the team that they're leaving terminates the contract by mutual agreement first, which makes no sense from the AI's point of view, because then they're losing a player for nothing. So he is trying to get some form of mutual contract termination in there as well. If I wanted to, I could go into commissioner mode and change the team he's signed for, and then add, say, 200,000 to one team and take it off my team. But that seems a little bit cheating to me. So if there is any free agents you want me to sign, then have a look at the free agent list, but I can't really do much else in terms of signing players with that one. Now, when at the end of last episode we had about 5 pre-season games still to go, but I'm afraid those have been they've disappeared, so to speak here. The schedule now is Champions Hockey League. 4 games in the Champions Hockey League, 4 games in the regular season, and then the other 2 games in the Champions Hockey League. So what I thought I would do in this episode is at least play the first 4, and then we'll see how we're doing for time. So we've got Liberec, the Lakers, HC Davos, and then Liberec again. You will notice that these fixtures are accurate to the fixtures of this season. Another great point from the developers there. You see the back-to-back over Coventry on the 26th and the 27th of December. So we're going to just check our roster and our lines more importantly. Most of the players have recovered to their full fitness. There's a couple that haven't. Livingston is one, and Richardson is another, but these lines have been doing so well so far that I'm going to leave them like that for the first game against Liberec, and so I'm going to leave the lines exactly as they are. I can't really do anything about the goaltenders not being 100% fit, but there's nothing really we can do about it. I'm going to sim the game because last time it kept freezing whilst the game was going on. So it's the Devils against Limerick. We'll see what happens. And we lost by 5 goals to 2. So Ben Bounds 34 shots against, 29 saves, 5 goals against. So once we get to look at the box score here. So they took a commanding Joey Martin, unsportsmanlike conduct, 35 seconds in. Well, thank you, Joey Martin, for that one. Joey Haddad with the assist from Sean Bentivoglio, and Evan Mosey as well made it 3-1. And then Charles Lingley got a misconduct, high sticking and misconduct penalty as well, which isn't great. And then Joey Haddad as well from Matt Pope and Sean Bentivoglio. So we lost by 5 goals to 2. Not a great start to the Champions Hockey League campaign for the Cardiff Devils, although that is also a bit accurate to real life. Steelers beat the Storm, Flyers beat the Flames, and Clan beat the Giants. And then Giants beat the Clan, and I kind of ran out of time to have a look at that. So a great game for Anthony DeLuca has come up in my inbox as well. A hat-trick in the Steelers 5-1 win against the Manchester Storm. Let's go back to the Devils lines once again then. So we've got the Vasco Lakers today. Sometimes the logo doesn't quite work, as you can see in this top left corner, but most of the time it does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out a couple of players here. I'm going to scratch a couple of players and bring a couple of other players in. So one thing I'm going to do is I am going to take Livingston out of it. He's on the first line, but I'm going to put Piggott in there instead. Oh, sometimes this doesn't work, which is really irritating. I've not quite managed to make it work as I would have wanted. It's a right click. That makes more sense. There we go. Piggott into there, please. Is it because he's... do I have to dress him first? Is that the... dress player. 20 players are... Oh, I have to go... Right, so it's a bit long-winded, so I have to go into the lines, look at links, click on Livingston, then scratch the player, then go back, then go into Piggott, then dress the player, then go back again, and then Piggott... Oh, I've clicked him again. And then Piggott can get put... Why is the clicking not... Am I being stupid here, guys? Or is there something I am missing into the... is it a drag? Oh, it's a drag. There we go. Right. So put Piggott in. I want to bring Matthew Myers in as well, so let's bring Myers in for Lane Ormer just for this game. Oh, I can do it short here as well. Here we go. Myers, dress player, and then drag him in to there, and then we'll see what happens in this game. So if I'm like doing some, we'll sim this game as well. And oh, it was an overtime loss. So we got 61 shots against Ben Bounds and only 3 goals against. Great performance from Ben Bounds. A 3-2 overtime loss. So not too bad. We got a point as the Cardiff Devils there. We took the lead as well through Joey Martin. And then Mark Richardson in the third period tied it at 2-2. How close into overtime were we? It looks like it's a continuous overtime. Yeah, it went into second overtime, which for a group stage in the Champions Hockey League I'm a bit surprised at, that it went into a double overtime. But in the second period of overtime, more than halfway through it, Jonas Ronberg gave Vasco Lakers the win. So I suspect my players are quite tired now after all that, actually. As we just let the game sim through. So after a good pre-season, and in fact Evan Richardson is out for the Manchester Storm. Don't really care too much about that, if I'm 100% honest. So after a good pre-season, won both our pre-season games. We're struggling in European competition as well, so another thumbs up for the accuracy of the game there, where Cardiff do really well domestically and not quite so well in Europe. I think we'll just play the first 4 games, and that will give me a chance to sort anything out. If you guys want me to change anything in the lines, if I'm stressing or scratching the wrong players. As I said, it's been a while since I've watched Cardiff in depth since I went to university. We're on to Friday, August the 31st now. Hopefully get back to the regular. Everyone else is playing pre-season games and we've been shoved into this tournament. And so the following development has happened in August. A lot of players have lost development. Actually, I should point out that I am... no, it's in my manager roles, isn't it? In options, I believe. I have set training to the assistant because otherwise you're just going to spend forever going in and out of training, making sure that everyone's doing what you want them to do. So if we look at the schedule now then, so we do have 1 point in this tournament. So we've got a game today against HC Davos, and then in 2 days' time against Liberec again. If we look at the standings in the Champions Hockey League, because this season the Panthers are in it as well. So we're in 3rd. So we are only well, we're 4 points off because Liberec and Lakers have both won 2 each. The Panthers bottom of their league after losing 2 games each. If I have a look at the Panthers' schedule, see they lost 5-1 to SC Bern and 4-1 to Mountfield HK. So it's disappointing for the Panthers, but we'll keep the similar line. They seem to do a bit better. We'll keep these lines again, sim the game, and Cardiff Devils get the victory. Ben Bounds only 1 goal against from 38 shots, and we get the win over HC Davos. Joey Haddad has got dehydration, so he's day-to-day for us now. Not brilliant, but I'll have to swap the lines. Again, he got the first star with his goal as well. So goals for the Devils that time, Evan Mosey and Joey Haddad. And then in the second period, Charles Lingley took a 3-0 lead, and then it was 24 seconds from the end of the game that they got one on the board. But Cardiff Devils do then take that game by 3-1. That was against the bottom place side there, HC Davos. So Liberec and the Lakers couldn't both win. So it'll be interesting to see who won that one. We do have another game in the Champions Hockey League in this episode to play, and then it'll be all to play for in the final 2 games, I would suspect. We're definitely not going to be out of it now after that win. So qualification is still possible while we wait for the end of month save to take place. So we'll be on 4 points now. The best situation for us is one of the 2 teams, either Lakers or Liberec, to have won in regulation, as an overtime win wouldn't have been quite so kind to us. But let's have a look at the standings. Okay, so it was an overtime loss for Liberec, so they're both on 7 points, we're on 4, so we have to take a victory. In fact, I think we'd have to win 2 of our last 3 games to stand a chance here. The Panthers have taken a victory as well, so they're up to 3rd. Could we get an EIHL team into the knockout stages of the Champions Hockey League? We'll have to wait and see on that one. We're going to play one more game in today's episode. It's the return game against Liberec. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to alter the lines, check the fitness of the players. Everybody is fit, so I'm going to keep the lines as they are, considering that everybody has been playing. Bounds is very hot right now, so I'm definitely not swapping the netminders out, that's for sure. And hopefully Liberec won't beat us. At least if we can get overtime, if we can get a point from this, that will leave me very happy indeed. So let's have a look, and fingers crossed we can get something from this game. No, we lost by 6-2. Bounds not having the best of games there. We only had 14 shots in the entire game. It's like I'm watching the Lions again, not the Cardiff Devils. But and I just realised I think I played Joey Haddad even though he was day-to-day. That was a mistake by me. I do apologise. So we lost by 6-2 there. He still managed to score even if he's dehydrated, so he can't be all that bad. So we lost to Liberec again by 6-2. Has that done it for the Champions Hockey League for us? I'm not sure that it has. We're in third. We're still... in fact, Lakers and Davos haven't played yet. We can almost do with Davos beating the Lakers here. I mean, if the Lakers do win, then unfortunately it looks as though we're going to be out of the Champions Hockey League. If we look at the Devils' schedule, though, we are back in league action now in 12 days' time. We've got a long time to get a rest. We've got the Nottingham Panthers, the Sheffield Steelers, and the Nottingham Panthers again. That will all come up in the next episode. So that will do it for today. If you are liking this series, then leave a comment down below and subscribe, leave a like on the video as well. Let me know if there are any free agents you want me to buy, and if you do want me to go into commissioner mode and make some trades that way, then put some kind of reasonable prices, or if you do know any kind of exchanges that have happened, leave them in the comment section below. I don't want to kind of cheat and make everybody come to Cardiff for a stupidly low amount of money. But if it's what you guys want to see, then I will trade for a couple of players. I'd be more keen to do that on the players that are on the Devils roster, rather than players that are on the Devils roster in real life, rather than players that aren't in real life. But yes, let me know any changes that you want me to make. We'll do a longer episode next time, potentially up towards Christmas, as we go towards the I apologise, I want the Elite League schedule. No, I don't want our schedule, that's what I was looking at. We need to at least round off the Champions Hockey League group stages next time, so we're going to go at least up to October the 10th. So not a great episode this time, a 1-2-1 record after a convincing performance in the pre-season. Hopefully we'll get that back on track for the 4 games of the regular season that we've got in between now and the next Champions Hockey League match. But that is going to do it for this episode, so feel free to like and subscribe to make sure you don't miss anything from me, and check me out on the Nottingham Forest YouTube channel, ladies YouTube channel, the Nottingham Lions YouTube channel. We've only got 3 home games left this season, and on Odd Man Rush's Icing on the Skate podcast. But that is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.